All right, and we're live. Take two. Didn't see the last one, but Kelly turned off the air conditioning and she changed the title. It was snazzy. Happy 4th of July, YouTubers.
Super snazzy.
All right, shall we start?
Sure.
All right. Welcome to Fuck You, I'm Smarter, the comedy game show where we compete with a guest to be crowned the smartest person in the room.
Zoom!
YouTube Live.
Woo!
Happy 4th of July, Kels. Actually, it's
Thanks.
the 5th.
It is the 5th.
It is the 5th of July.
What did you do yesterday?
Boom, 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 loud.
Boom, boom, loud. Owie, hurt my ears. All the dogs and cats are upset.
If everything went as planned, I was by a pool with you.
Right.
Drinking some sort of a rosé situation.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Or even just like a crisp lager.
Sure. And then a rooftop, some Shanana rooftop fireworks situation. And then I went to bed early and
woke up and worked out?
Probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's what I hope happens.
That's what you hope happened.
What do you hope happens?
I hope the same thing happened. I don't hope that I worked out the next day or today, this morning. And maybe I did a little stretching. Yeah, 4th of July has never been very particularly important to me. I don't know. I've always sort of seen through the facade. It's always kind of like,
yeah.
And now that we've all learned about Juneteenth, it's like, wow, no one was free.
No one was free. And last year we named this episode Fuck the 4th.
Fuck the 4th.
Yeah.
Fuck the 4th.
Can you explain to us, can you do a little recap of Juneteenth and why it's Fuck the 4th?
I'm bad with like numbers and details, but I know that the news of the freeing of the enslaved people did not reach a certain area. I believe it was in Texas.
Right.
Until like, what was it? Like a year after it was proclaimed that the slaves were being freed.
Yeah.
So the news of the war ending and of the Emancipation Proclamation didn't reach them until later. So they like literally had to be slaves for even longer.
Right. And we forgot to mention.
We just forgot to mention it because it was actually convenient for us to not tell you, so that we could get this last crop of cotton or whatever.
100%.
Yeah. So fuck the 4th.
Fuck the 4th.
So yeah. So it's never been a particularly like patriotic holiday for me. I mean, I love a lot of the people in this country and like aspects of it, but like, I'm not super duper patriotic in that way.
Yeah. My family just likes to blow each other up on 4th of July.
Oh, you do like a lot of
rockets at each other?
Yeah.
Like real life Hunger Games styles. Actually, last year.
That sounds about right for the Gentiles.
They all get together. They do every year. Like a big group of my family gets together. And last year the cops came. These are all adults. Okay. The kids.
No, this is not the first time the cops have come.
Yeah, but last year, this is the first time the cops have come in North Carolina, which is like a really small town. And they, they were given a warning. There was like 5 cops in the whole town. So like, they know you. Like once you fuck up once, like they know you.
Your family's on their radar.
Small. Yes. So this year, my mom's like, Charles better not light off shit again because
Charles, get your shit together.
The cops are going to come, and Charles's rental this year is right down the street from the police station, so they better be careful. They better be.
I can't wait to hear what happens.
Last year, someone got arrested in their small town, so I don't think there's going to be any fireworks this year.
But not your family. No, it wasn't your family that got arrested.
But it's like a really small town, and they do like a fireworks thing. But if they do it after a certain hour, like the cops come, and I guess last year someone went a little overboard. It was probably a Floridian, as they call them.
A Floridian?
Yeah, like a Floridian that was visiting.
I'm not mad at that.
A Floridian. And they got arrested, so I think they're going to be super
I'm from Florida, but I kind of support that.
Floridian.
I mean, there are a lot of them.
There's a lot of Floridians.
Yeah. And they're honestly, you can find a Floridian almost anywhere, not even just in Florida.
Oh, they're everywhere.
I mean,
they
not only like the diaspora, but also like people that just belong in Florida, whether they are from there or not. Like they just mentally belong. Like their behavior is.
It's like, are you from Florida?
Are you from Florida? Because you're sure acting like it.
You're like, no, I'm from Kentucky, and you're like, oh, okay, that tracks.
That
tracks.
Yeah, it's similar.
Well, I did not do a quiz really about the 4th of July this year.
Good. Neither did I.
Okay. I just felt like we did that last year and we should do something a little different.
Okay, great.
Mine is 4th of July adjacent.
Mine is 4th of July adjacent only because it's adjacent to last month, which is Pride Month. So I'm taking Pride into the summer.
Oh, we're still. So why don't you go first, and then I could bring us into 4th of July.
Okay, perfect. So we have 1 foot in July, we have 1 foot in June, which of course was Pride Month, where we celebrate how far we've come and how far we have yet to go, and just gather ourselves around to love and support all our LGBTQIA+, blah, 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 doody-doos, all of our friends and family.
Question.
Yeah.
Did you write this for Pride and then we didn't get to it? So now you have a leftover quiz and now you're using it for this episode?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. But this one's really close to my heart.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you, it's basically just about one woman who is a writer, a comic strip author. She wrote one of her comics, or one of her books. I think they're like graphic novels. Was actually 2 of them at least 2 were turned into plays. Were turned into musicals on Broadway. And I don't know if you've ever heard of her, Alison Bechdel. Alison Bechdel?
No, I don't think so.
Sorry, it's Bechdel.
Oh,
Bechdel.
Like the Bechdel test.
Like the Bechdel test.
Okay.
Yes.
So the Bechdel test is when
This is my first question, so here we go.
Okay, so the Bechdel test is when you're like, oh, I saw this movie and it passed the Bechdel test.
Exactly.
And that means the crew and the cast, some sort of ratio is like women friendly.
Good. Okay. Very good. Very close. So, yes. So it is about female representation in film, or actually not just in film, but in any work of art.
Okay.
So the test is named, so it's the Bechdel test. It's a measure of the representation of women in fiction. The test is named after American cartoonist Alison Bechdel, in whose 1985 comic strip.
Hi, Rosetta.
Hi. Oh, that's okay. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi.
Let us know what you think of the episode. Hit us up. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So the test is named after the American cartoonist Alison Bechdel, in whose 1985 comic strip called Dykes to Watch Out For, the test first appeared. So for a given work to pass the test, the work must have 3 things. So that's my question is, what are those 3 things?
Okay.
So it's not necessarily about the crew, because it could be just a work of like a literature or something. But there's 3 criteria. So it has to have 1, at least 2 women in it.
Okay.
Okay. And they have to 2 talk to each other.
Okay.
About 3, something other than a man.
Right.
So it has to have at least 2 women in it who talk to each other about something other than a man.
Got it.
Those are the 3 criteria.
Got it.
Okay. Now, Bechdel, however, says she was not the originator of the test. She put it in her comic strip, but she has long attributed the idea to 2 other women. One specifically, who's her friend, and one is a famous writer. Do you know who they are? Her friend. So just so you know, the Bechdel test, she has been saying, actually, we should call it the Bechdel-Wallace test.
Okay.
Because it wasn't just my idea.
Okay.
So who is the other woman?
You said Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
So it's someone with the last name Wallace.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't me. But they were related to me. They are related to me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Martha Wallace?
No.
Everyone in your family's name is Martha.
No, it's Elizabeth Wallace. Lizzie Wallace.
Lizzie
My
Wallace.
auntie.
Get out of here.
My Auntie Lizzie.
So tell me about your Auntie Lizzie.
So Auntie Lizzie is one of my most wonderful and favoriteest aunties, and she's my mom's sister. So her and Martha and Mary, my mom, are sisters, and they grew up in Pennsylvania. And my Auntie Lizzie is also a lesbian, and she was like one of the people on the forefront of like fighting for LGBT rights in New York. She lived there in the 60s and 70s.
Wow.
A block away from where I lived when I moved to New York. Literally a block away.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So she was friends with Alison Bechdel, and she was the one who mentioned the standard that Bechdel put in Dykes to watch out for.
Well,
so isn't that cool?
I think we should have Lizzie on the show.
I know.
Should she do it?
I'll ask her. She's so private.
Is she really?
She's so like she so does not want to be in the spotlight at all, even though it's like a just an audio medium, you know.
Now, when did you find out about the Bechdel test and find out that there was a connection?
I found out the Bechdel test. I think I had like heard about it loosely, and then Lizzie told me about it one time. We used to do these family Zooms every Sunday during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it was in the early pandemic. Or maybe she had like maybe she like wrote us an email or something, because there's been some articles written about this and how Alison Bechdel was like, you know, we really should call it the Bechdel-Wallace test to give my friend some credit, because she's the one who first like sort of thought of it, and then I put it in the comic.
Wow, amazing.
So yeah, I know. I just wanted to give like a shout out to my Auntie Lizzie.
That's really cool, because I've heard about it a lot.
Yeah.
Over the past maybe like 4 years, where it's kind of a hot thing to
It's a hot thing now, especially as we're starting to get more representation for females.
Well, when people are selling scripts, like if they're like, does it pass the Bechdel test?
Exactly. So you can thank my Aunt Lizzie for that.
Wow, that's so cool. I love that.
Isn't that neat? I know. I was like, oh my God, my auntie is famous.
Yeah.
So Bechdel also attributes the idea more broadly to a writer, which was Virginia Woolf. Okay. And she says, in Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own, she writes, all these relationships between women, I thought, rapidly recalling the splendid gallery of fictitious women, are too simple. And I tried to remember any case in the course of my reading where two women are represented as friends. They are now and then mothers and daughters, but almost without exception, they are shown in their relation to men.
Yeah.
So,
or the topic is about men.
They're talking about men, exactly. Always. So it's about their relationship with. They're talking to each other, but they're talking about a man.
Interesting.
Yeah. And in a 2015 interview on NPR's Fresh Air, Bechdel reiterated that especially. Oh my God. This. Please ignore. Look what happens. It like goes off the page, and I can't. It's being so weird. You know what I'm saying? Just having some technical difficulties. Anyway, I'll just pretend I can see what it says. Bechdel reiterated that the test has become such a useful tool in analyzing media from a feminist perspective. And being it that way, she said that she'd love it to be attributed to Lizzie Wallace as well.
Cool, Lizzie Wallace.
I know.
We'll try to get her on the show, because she sounds like a real delight.
She's a real gem. She's very well read. She used to do. She used to make stained glass. We can tell. Maybe she'll be open enough for her to tell us about the time that I think she had to poop in a coffee can. Because she was making stained glass, and like there was no bathroom in the shop. It was like someone's basement in the East Village in like the 60s.
Oh my God.
And
that's a small place to poop.
I mean, no, but if that's the only receptacle you have.
Yeah, when I almost pooped in my pants in the car that one time, I had a piece of Tupperware, and I was like, this may be what happens right now.
It's an emergency situation.
It didn't, thank God.
Okay, next question, Lindsey. So just going on that theme of female representation, In film, a study of gender portrayals in 855 of the most financially successful U.S. films from 1950 to 2006 showed that there were, on average, how many male characters for each female character? What was the ratio?
You're not giving me an A, B, and
No,
C?
you can just guess.
4 to 1.
No, it was a little better than that. But it was 2 to 1. 2 male characters for each female character. It's just twice as many.
I still,
twice as many.
On audition submissions, will look at things that have either no women in it or one for like 6 men, and I'm like,
yeah.
Who is not getting the memo?
Who's not getting the memo?
Like,
that we're over half of the
population,
and we want to see ourselves. It's just like any other group of people. Representation matters, and you want to see your stories represented.
It's so ridiculous. And even now, I see in the audition submissions, like, she's crazy. She's a hooker. And I'm like, no, I'm not auditioning for this. It's like, she's crazy. Like, yeah, she's crazy because you made her crazy.
Please don't be so like short-sighted and so like especially as the writer to describe your characters that way or the director. Like,
it's just uneducated.
It's stupid.
It's like
those people shouldn't be making films.
Yeah, when you are an actor and you think about like your character,
like, be crazier.
Like, you don't ever tell someone to act crazy.
No,
ever in a million years. So when I see like she's crazy, she's strung out, she's a hooker, she's I'm like, I can't with you guys.
Also, she's a sex worker, not a hooker.
Yeah, well, there's still a lot of hooker talk.
I'm sure there is.
There's still a lot of hooker talk.
Yeah. Okay, next question. From that same study, female characters were portrayed as being involved in sex, like you're just saying. How many times as often as male characters?
2 times.
That is correct.
Woo!
So there's twice as many men, but the women are twice as horny.
Yeah.
Number 5. Can't do it. Sometimes I just wear my pants around my ankles and I pull the underwear down, but cannot keep them on. Hey. According to a 2014 study did you know there was a Gina Davis Institute on Gender and Media?
I think I actually did know that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So according to a 2014 studies, so those other questions were like earlier films. So like we hope that it's been getting better, right? So according to this 2014 study by the Gina Davis Institute on Gender and Media, in 120 films made worldwide from 2010 to 2013, what percentage of characters who have names were female and what percentage had a female protagonist?
35?
That's very good. And then what about a female protagonist? Because that's different.
25?
You're really on track here. So 31% of characters were female, and only 23 of the films had a female protagonist. Only 23%.
It's so interesting to me because
that's not even 25%. That's not even 1/4.
Men like watching women.
Yeah, but they don't. They like watching them be the hooker.
Yes, they want to see them be hot.
But they don't necessarily want to see. Maybe more now that people have been exposed to it, but like. My dad, like, you think he wants to? Well, maybe he does want to watch.
I feel like they do.
As long as they're hot, they can't be grizzled like these old men protagonists.
But I remember.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna watch like who's an old actress? Like, we're not gonna watch her like shoot up the place and like, but we'll watch
Helen Mirren.
Yeah. Well,
she was she was in a movie like that.
But how recently?
Like 4 years ago.
Right. That's 4. Yeah, exactly.
No, but
so things are changing is what I'm saying. But like in the, 10, 15 years ago, some old guy is not going to want, they're going to want to watch fucking, Bruce Willis or whoever,
But what I'm saying is like when you make a movie like Bombshell with Charlize Theron, where she plays like a really badass like action star, like every man wants to see that. And like,
yeah, because she's still hot.
She's hot and like, but it's also like a great action movie.
Yes.
So I think it's definitely getting better. But the fact that this is in 2014 is like,
wasn't an action movie. What are you showing?
Yeah. The one with Charlize Theron when she's an action star. Atomic Blonde.
Oh, okay.
Atomic Blonde. That was like a fun, or like Mad Max, the new one, the remake. Like
that was
a fun female protagonist.
But these are few and far between, but it's more now.
But I'm just saying, like, that's like, so Heather McDonald talks about this a lot.
Right, so you're like, why haven't we been doing this? Because people obviously do watch it.
Well, she says, like, it's one guy's role to like make these decisions of what gets picked, and if he doesn't like it, then he thinks everyone his type doesn't like it. But then you have a movie like Mad Max, which is so huge and kind of feminist. I mean, kind of not, but was billed that way,
right?
And really women heavy in that movie. There were like a ton of women in that movie, and people fucking went crazy for that movie. So if that one dude would just like chill out a little bit.
Unfortunately, that one dude makes a lot of decisions, and all of his friends do too. And it's like fucking entourage.
You know how we can help this situation, though?
Make movies?
No, we can say things like, "Hey, husband, I'm going to a comedy show. I know she's a woman that's headlining, but I still think you'll like her. We need to be better about being just like, come see this great comedian." Because it's still happening where women are like, I dragged my husband and he still loved it. Like, there's still this like old school
perception.
Thing
that's what I'm saying.
Even do.
Yeah, exactly.
That we can help that too.
Yeah, I like that. Lindsey.
Yes.
Last question.
Great.
From that same study, what percent of directors were women? Worldwide films from 2010 to 2013.
It's like 2 female directors.
What percent were women?
5.
7.
7. I mean, it's like crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's totally nuts. It is. That's the biggest thing that needs to change, and like, it's just so deep seated. Like, I remember my ex. It's such an interesting thing. Like, he's a chef. And so when he worked for a female chef, like, he would explain to me, like, women for so long have had to, like, you know, drag themselves out of the bottom. So when they do have positions of power, they're, like, ruthless.
It can be that way in very male-dominated industries. When they don't actually feel safe doing it their own way. They don't feel safe doing it their own way. They'll get walked all over because it's still male dominated. Everyone who now works under them, that happens in like, you know, in like big companies and things like that. So it's like the whole culture hasn't changed. It's just that you have now been allowed to be in a position of power. So you still have to act like everyone else. You're not able to really make it your own. In a different, they're brought up, but they're brought up in that culture. So of course they're going to act the same way.
They even have to act the same way. I think they actually have to act tougher and stronger.
Exactly.
Because if they do act like a male would, they will be walked all over. So they have to even kick it up a notch and act even stricter and even more stern and even less available, because they feel like they have to like be a bad bitch to be heard.
Exactly.
And, you know, I've heard that from like people in the film industry. I've heard that from chefs, and it's just like,
and that's why I'm so excited when I see something that's female run, like not just the one person is a female, or even just the one head person is a female. When it's like, this film was literally made all by women.
Right. So
how different do you think that set is?
It's different. And it also like, probably is
this restaurant is female led, like literally the chef, all the chefs, you know, everyone in like a high position, and like the culture is made by women, not just one woman had to claw to the top.
They feel safe to just run the business however they want to run the business.
Exactly.
I mean, we had that even at the London. The one female manager that we had was like, she came in hot. And it wasn't until she was respected and comfortable that she was able to humanize herself a little bit more. And that was kind of the first time I saw it firsthand of like, wow, she has to climb so much higher up.
She had to dig her claws in.
Right. And she came in and we all hated her. But then once we got to know her and she got to relax a little bit, it's like, oh my God, like you just had to do that to establish
your dominance.
Your dominance.
Basically.
But I don't think men have to do that. I think men come in and they're like, I'm warm, I'm the cool guy, I'm great, and they can do that.
Well, because they already have the comfortability of their privileges being a man.
Yeah. It's interesting. But, these female-run businesses, it's true. I'm sure that they feel like they can breathe to just be like, I can act however I want and I will be respected.
And, some dudes are dicks no matter what. Some ladies are dicks no matter what. Right. But I guarantee with an intentionally female-run, like, space, it just feels different.
Yeah, for sure.
It just feels different. So anyway... props to my auntie Lizzie and Alison Bechdel, and maybe check out one of her. I'm like looking at her stuff. I'm like, this is so cool. She has like these graphic novels, like Fun Home, because she was
that's a big one.
Raised in a funeral home.
That was really famous. That show. Yeah,
and it was on Broadway too. Yeah. So it came from a graphic novel. So
very cool. That was that won a lot of awards, and that was a huge show.
It won the Lambda Book Award, the Glad Media Award, the Stonewall Book Award,
and then Stacy wound up working in a funeral home, and they called it Fun Home.
I love that.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't love, you know what I mean.
Well, she liked it. She liked it. I mean, she was surprised, but she liked it.
I could see Stacy liking it.
It's weird.
Stacy's weird.
Yeah,
in the best way.
Speaking of strong women,
yes.
My quiz, which is July 4th related, is all about Lady Liberty.
Oh, Lady Liberty.
When was the last time you saw the
Statue
of Liberty?
IRL?
Yeah, IRL.
I mean, the last time I saw her was when I flew away from New York for the last time.
Did you ever?
I went back to New York. I went there. No. Like, sort of. Like, I went around.
Right. You did like one of those cruises.
I went to the islands.
Oh, you did?
I stepped up when I was little.
Yeah. I did, too, when I was
Probably visiting Auntie Lizzie.
Yeah.
And then or maybe she was in Philly by that time. But anyway, we went to New York when I was a kid. But then I didn't. I went back and I went to like, wait, now is she on Ellis Island? Or is she not? Is that one of your questions?
No.
Because I went there.
Went to Ellis
Island, but I also went to the Statue of Liberty at some point. I never went like inside because they were like, there's 5,000 steps. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I did it.
Did you go all the way up?
I think I did the steps on like a school field trip.
Does it go up to her thingy?
Not anymore.
No, okay.
It used to go up to her thingy, and then in like
her torch.
In like 1912, there was some sort of an explosion off site, like at another.
So my information's really old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can still climb the Statue of Liberty. You just can't go into the torch.
Right.
Something happened, and they don't want there to be like a terrorist attack or something. So you can walk up to a certain point, but you can't get all the way like you would like a lighthouse.
Got it.
All right. Well, let's get into
it. Tell me about her.
All right, Lady Liberty. So, Lady Liberty was gifted by France to the United States in 1886. She stands 93 meters tall. Kelly, how many feet do you think that is? About
175.
That is incorrect. It's about 305 feet. She's above the Upper New York Bay. Kelly, what is the Statue of Liberty's actual name?
Lady Liberty.
No, that is incorrect.
Frances.
No, that is incorrect. Do you want multiple choice?
Yes.
Is it A, Liberty lighting the world, B, Lady Liberty, or C, Liberty lighting the way to freedom?
So Lady Liberty is a guess.
Is a guess?
That's number 2?
That is number 2.
Yeah, that's my guess.
No, that's incorrect. It is actually Liberty lighting the way to freedom.
Liberty lighting the way to freedom.
Yes. That's her actual name.
Is lighting the way to her middle name?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Liberty lighting the way to freedom.
Okay.
So they just go by Lady Liberty. Just
I think
because it
for
doesn't
sure.
quite roll off the tongue.
It doesn't.
Liberty lighting the way to freedom.
No, it doesn't. They made a mistake.
Okay, number 2.
It's also not a name. It's a sentence
Liberty
or a clause.
Right. Lady Liberty has come to symbolize freedom and opportunity for immigrants arriving by sea, seeking new opportunity, and is a triumphant symbol of American identity for those at home. The statue is recognized worldwide, but did you know that the statue represents a Roman goddess? Who was the Roman goddess? Is it A, Vesta, B, Fortuna, or C, Libertas? Libertas, Fortuna,
I think Libertas is a
or
thing.
Vesta?
I'm going to go with Fortuna.
That is incorrect. Fortuna is the goddess of fortune. Vesta is the virgin goddess of family, home, and hearth. And
Hearth?
Hearth? That's how you say it?
Yeah. I think that's like your fire. Like your
fire inside.
Your fireplace.
Your fireplace?
Mm-hmm.
Libertas.
Where people used to cook.
Is a Roman deity.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Kelly. Personifying freedom. So she's actually the goddess of freedom. Roman goddess.
Wait, so Libertas is right?
Libertas is correct.
I thought you were just making it up.
No, and it's deity, and it's hearth?
Yeah.
Like Garth?
Uh-huh.
Really?
I think so. Pretty sure.
Crazy. Okay.
Home and hearth.
Number 3.
Like Garth.
Like...
Now, which Garth did you think of? Garth Brooks because your mom likes country, or
no, Garth?
Yeah,
Garth from Wayne's World,
obviously.
Number 3. The statue's crown bears 7 spikes. What do you think those spikes symbolize?
Pestilence, sloth, envy. What are the 7 deadly sins? Yeah.
I like it. Do you want an A, B, and C?
Yes.
Is it A, the 7 oceans of the world?
Ooh.
B, the 7 continents of the world? Or C, the 7 wonders of the world? So many 7s. Or D, the 7 deadly sins?
Well, because you just seem to make that up, I'm going to not say that one. I will go with the oceans, because she's in the ocean.
Yes, it is actually the oceans and the continents.
Okay.
So I would have taken A or B.
For all those people still arriving by sea, like Greta Thunberg.
From sea to shining sea. Okay, number 4. Standing proud, Lady Liberty is exposed to the elements. The statue has to withstand around blank lightning bolts every year.
Whoa.
And in high winds, the torch can sway about 5 inches side to side. How many times does she get struck by lightning per year? A, 100. B, 400.
Whoa.
C, 600.
Oh my God.
Or D, 1,000.
I'm going to go with 400.
That is incorrect. It's 600 times.
Holy shit.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
That's a lot of times to be struck by lightning.
From sea to shining sea. Number 5. Edouard de la Boulaye.
We're really great at our... Is that French?
Yes.
Yeah, we're really good at that here.
Was the man who dreamt the statue up, and sculptor Frederic Auguste Bartholdi.
Butthole?
Did you hear butthole?
I heard Auguste Butthole is what I heard.
Bartholdi.
Bartholdi.
The I at the end designed it.
Butthole.
But the integral metal framework was made by the same man who built. What is that?
That's my cat opening the door, opening the cabinet in the bathroom.
Wow.
They're becoming full raccoons.
Wow.
Yeah, Kronos now opens any cabinet that's close enough to the ground for him to try to open with his hands.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the metal framework was made by the same man who built blank. A, the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
B, Notre Dame. Or C, the Arc de Triomphe.
Oh, God damn
From sea to shining sea.
Eiffel Tower.
That is correct.
And that relates back to Pride Month as well.
Yes, look it up. Gustave Eiffel helped build it. All right.
Helped build Lady Liberty? Or I'm sorry, Lady, what is it?
Lady
Lighting the way
to freedom.
Shining the flashlight on the butthole. Of freedom.
So butthole, or also known as Bartholdi, the sculptor who designed the statue, is said to have modeled her face after A, the First Lady of France at the time she was built, B, the First Lady of the United States at the time she was built, C, his mother, or D, the Roman goddess Libertas. Who do you think that face is for? Whose face is that?
I want it to be his mother.
She kind of looks like my grandmother, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the First Lady of the U.S.
No, it is his mother.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, he gave it his mother's face.
That's really sweet.
Now, you asked a question.
Is it on Ellis Island?
Yes. Is it on Ellis Island? What is the island that it's on?
It's
people
on Ellis
live on this island.
It's on Ellis Island.
I have Liberty Island.
Shit, you're right.
So I think Ellis Island is
next
where
to it. It's close by.
Next to it, you do the security check. You like see the museum, and
they
then
change your last name.
Take you to the Statue of Liberty from there. But I just have here that the statue's pedestal was actually housing for military families.
God, that's a big pedestal.
There were people that lived there, and they would the kids would climb her. Like growing up, they would climb the Statue of Liberty. I know.
Do people still live on that island, on Liberty Island?
I don't think people still do. It says here, no, until the 1930s. It was a home to military families from 1818 until the mid-1930s. Okay. When the statue first arrived from France, she was the color of a shiny new penny.
Right.
Now, she's green. What do you call that when copper turns that color?
Oxidized.
Yeah, but what do you call that? It has a name like
oxidization.
No, it doesn't start with an O.
Okay.
It starts with a P.
Starts with a P, eh?
Yeah, and it's like whenever you buy something that's green, like older and green, it's blank. It's been blank.
Poo-poo.
Poo-pooed. Yes, that's correct.
It's
patina.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of that? Oh, that's what that's called.
I've heard that word before.
That's what it means.
Didn't know what it was.
Well, now I know what hearth.
Garth.
Hearth?
Wayne and Garth.
Hearth. I knew what a hearth is.
Sure.
But I thought it was a hearth. But that doesn't make any sense.
I don't think
Home and hearth. Home and hearth?
No.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
All right.
Well, we'll see.
Last question. This lady's got a lot of nicknames. Okay? So we know about Lady Liberty.
We know
her actual name is what?
Lady Lighting the Way to Freedom.
Great.
Something like that.
She's been called everybody's gal. Which one of these is not one of her nicknames? Hold on. Just want to double check something. Oh, God damn it. Okay. Is it A, Aunt Liberty? B, the Grand Dame? C, Green Goddess? Or D, Mother of Americans?
Only one of them is not? What was the first one?
Aunt Liberty. Grand Dame, Green Goddess, Mother of Americans.
I'm going to go with Aunt Liberty.
That is a real nickname.
Which one's
it's
not?
Mother of Americans.
Mother of Americans is not
She's
correct.
been called Green Goddess, the Lady Higher Up, Lady of the Harbor, Lady on the Pedestal, Lady with a Torch, Mother of Exiles, Mother of Freedom, Saint Liberty, and the Spirit of American Independence.
Oh, wow.
Oh, beautiful for spacious
skies. Sing along!
Amber waves of grain, boom, boom, purple mountains, majesty. Do you know the next lyric?
Across the fruited plain.
Okay, I'll take it.
See, also gay. America, America, God shed His grace on the heart. Shit on the heart. Crown thy good with brotherhood and sisterhood and non-binary hood
and LGBT rights from
sea to shining sea. Representation matters.
Well, there you go. That is our 4th of July Representation Matters episode. We barely mentioned Juneteenth this year. Right. I feel like we did a full episode last year, but maybe we need to do a little pop quiz. Bringing her back. See what we remember. See what we remember about that. Never forget. But happy 4th. Be safe.
Be safe. Don't shoot so many fireworks that you get arrested.
Yeah.
Or hurt anyone.
Only a few.
Just don't, I don't know. I would say just like, don't use fireworks.
I like fireworks, but I don't
want anyone to have fun. I don't want anyone to have fun.
I understand.
I want you to have fun, and I want you to challenge yourself to find different ways
of having fun.
To have fun.
Look, we don't have to be the loudest.
How about a nice hot bath with a glass of wine and a book?
Oh, I was thinking you still hang out with your friends.
No, it's a lonely holiday. I want you to sit at home.
It's Independence Day. It's signing your independence.
Good point, Lindsey. Way to tie it all together.
So we encourage you to spend time with nobody.
Shun your friends. Shun your family.
Weekends. Be alone. Take a bath.
Reconnect to yourself.
Yeah.
And your animals. Be there for your animals because they are not excited about the 4th of July. Get some CBD for your cats and dogs.
Also, don't forget, a lot of people mention animals on this holiday, but veterans have a really hard time during this holiday as well.
That's very true.
So please reach out if you know anyone that was in
oh my God, in the
Army,
military. Yeah,
military.
Talk about PTSD. Those guns.
Yeah,
I mean, fireworks sound like guns. It's super loud. And
it's
that
super
could
loud
be really intense.
Can really trigger their PTSD. So make sure you take care of your loved ones.
So you see why I say don't use fireworks?
I understand. I fully understand. Well, we're not here to be a buzzkill. We are here though to tell you to rate, review, subscribe, and tell your friends.
Email us at fuimsmarter@gmail.com. And, let us know how we're doing. Let us know what kind of games you'd like to hear. Write us a game if you want to.
Send us pictures of your independence on Independence Day.
Send us pictures of your independence. What makes you feel independent? What did you do this Independence Day?
If you have a topic that you want us to tackle, like hearth and hearth, hearth versus hearth, or deity versus deity.
Right.
Still forget which one it is, but I think it's deity.
Good job. See, we're learning.
Please email us, or if you don't understand fuimsmarter@gmail.com, just DM us at Kelly and Lindsey on Instagram.
Exactly. We're always there.
Kelly doesn't understand fuimsmarter.
I don't know why I can't.
And the biggest thing we want you to do, because there's so many calls to action, subscribe to us on YouTube and watch some of our videos. It should be up to date. It should be. That's my job, and I try to do my best.
If nothing else, just subscribe so that we look cooler.
All of our videos are up there thus far, so check them out, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
End it. Great.